Hello? Yeah, hi, this is him. Oh, hello, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. What can I do for you? Really? TST. You're interested? You want me to start shooting again? Yeah, no, I'm definitely interested. Yeah, I'll be there as soon as I can. Thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye. Ha, I'm back. Hello, everybody. Andrew Rogers here for Total Sports Talk TST, the Yahoo Fantasy Football League. Really excited to be joining you guys. What's up? How's everybody doing? It's Thursday morning. It's early. It's 4:30 at this time of recording. So yeah, to say I'm overtired is an understatement, but I am nonetheless excited to be bringing you this episode of TST, Total Sports Talk. It's the first episode of the Yahoo Fantasy Football League that TST is running this year. Very excited about that. We had our draft this past Monday night over the Labor Day weekend. That was awesome. I was really happy there. I was kind of skeptical as to whether or not I'd be able to fill the league. But I was able to get enough interest and I was able to fill the league. I was very excited about that and very happy about that, to be honest with you. And we had a great draft on the Monday night. About 30 minutes beforehand, you could log in to the Yahoo League to find out what your draft positioning were, and these were the results. So our draft order is Brandon's Bold Team got the number 1 pick. Houston Strong, number 2. Birmingham Chiefs, number 3. A team that has no name is number 4. Johnny Flores' team is number 5. The Quarter Pounders pick number 6. OJ's Parole Board, one of the funnier names of the group, is picked at number 7. Bounty Hunters at number 8. Shooting Super Team, which was later changed to the Golden Taint. I'll get to that. His draft position was number 9. Team Denver Broncos picked 10. Picking 11th was D Nice's team, and rounding out the first round at number 12 was Ed's Reed. So, without any further ado, here's how it shook down in round number 1 of the TST Total Sports Talk Yahoo Fantasy Football Draft. Of course, going number 1 was David Johnson from the Arizona Cardinals running back. He was followed by Le'Veon Bell at number 2. Antonio Brown went number 3, wide receiver from Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 4 was Julio Jones out of Atlanta Falcons. Number 5, Odell Beckham Jr. for the New York Giants. Devontae Freeman at number 6 for the Atlanta Falcons. Mike Evans at number 7 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kind of a waste of a first-round pick if you ask me, considering their game was suspended this week. We'll get to that. Number 8 was Melvin Gordon from the LA Chargers. Number 9, A.J. Green from the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 10, Jordy Nelson from the Green Bay Packers. Number 11, LaShawn McCoy out of Buffalo Bills. And number 12, Ezekiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys, rounding out the first round picks of the draft. It was a wonderful draft. I believe that every team is pretty well rounded. Everybody drafted pretty good. It was a decent turnout. I was really happy about that. Only a couple guys didn't show up, but they auto-picked, so that was okay. It actually went by a little bit faster because of that, so I was very excited about that. Here's how all the rosters shake down. Brandon's Bold Team that picked number 1. His team is highlighted by quarterback Andrew Luck. Unfortunately, that pick may not work out so well for him, at least in week 1, because he's already been listed as not starting. Scott Tolzien will start for the Indianapolis Colts in that one. His wide receivers are very good. Doug Baldwin from the Seattle Seahawks, Michael Crabtree from the Oakland Raiders, and Stephon Diggs from the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, he got David Johnson first overall at the running back position from the Arizona Cardinals. And he also has Dalvin Cook from the Minnesota Vikings. Tyler Eifert from the Cincinnati Bengals is his tight end, very good. Joe Mixon, Cincinnati running back, rookie this year. He should be all right. He's a running back. And Tevin Coleman, another running back from the Atlanta Falcons, round out his positional players. His kicker is Matt Bryant from the Atlanta Falcons, very good kicker. And his defense is the Minnesota Vikings defense. So his team will be very good, no question about it. Moving on now to Houston Strong. They picked number 2. They're led by Ben Roethlisberger of the Pittsburgh Steelers and Matt Stafford of the Detroit Lions. Chris Hogan, one of his wide receivers, as well as he drafted 3 tight ends. That was kind of strange, I thought, but very good tight ends nonetheless. Rob Gronkowski is his tight end from New England. Martellus Bennett from Green Bay Packers, and Coby Fleener from the New Orleans Saints. So he's got all 3 of those guys. His running back duo, very, very talented. Le'Veon Bell, his first round pick, is his lead running back, and Leonard Fournette from the Jacksonville Jaguars, rookie. He should be very, very good in Jacksonville this year. Sebastian Janikowski is Oakland kicker, and his defense, the Atlanta Falcons. So, yeah, his team very well-rounded. They'll be very, very good for the duration of the season. Picking at number 3, the Birmingham Chiefs. Jameis Winston and Dak Prescott are his quarterbacks. Antonio Brown, Amari Cooper, and Devontae Adams his wide receivers. Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson his running backs. You have Delaney Walker as tight end. Paul Perkins, running back of the New York Giants, is one of his flex positions. And Kenny Britt from the Cleveland Browns is in his other flex position. Matt Prater is his kicker from the Detroit Lions. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are his team defense. Picking at number 4 was a team that has no name. Marcus Mariota and Andy Dalton lead his quarterback duo. Julio Jones, Brandon Cooks, Tyreek Hill at the wide receiver position. Isaiah Crowell from Cleveland at the running back position. Mike Gillislee from the New England Patriots is also at the running back position. Eric Ebron from the Detroit Lions is his tight end. Allen Robinson and Willie Snead in the flex positions from Jacksonville and the New Orleans Saints, respectively. Mason Crosby is his kicker from Green Bay Packers, and his defense from the team defense is the Arizona Cardinals. Picking at number 5 was Johnny Flores' team. His team's led by Eli Manning of the New York Football Giants. He's joined at the wide receiver position by Odell Beckham Jr. He's got DeMarco Murray and Christian McCaffrey at the running back position. He should be a very good team throughout the course of the fantasy football season. Picking at number 6 was the Quarter Pounders. The QB position is where he kind of struggled in the draft. He drafted Phillip Rivers and Trevor Siemian of the LA Chargers and Denver Broncos, respectively. His running back position is very decent. Devontae Freeman from the Atlanta Falcons and Jordan Howard of the Chicago Bears should be a good running back tandem. And he also has Jimmy Graham from the Seattle Seahawks. His team should be very good as well. OJ's parole board, pick number 7. He's led by Russell Wilson from Seattle Seahawks and Sam Bradford from the Minnesota Vikings. Very good wide receiver core. Mike Evans from Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Michael Thomas from New Orleans Saints, and T.Y. Hilton from the Indianapolis Colts. He also has the Indy tight end, Jack Doyle, in his starting lineup. Picking at number 8 was Bounty Hunters. This team is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Yahoo Fantasy Football League for TST Total Sports Talk, no question. He's highlighted by Drew Brees and Derek Carr out of the New Orleans Saints and Oakland Raiders, respectively. Sammy Watkins, Pierre Garcon, and Marvin Jones Jr. are his wide receivers. Running backs, Melvin Gordon and Carlos Hyde. Jordan Reed is tight end. Ty Montgomery, his running back in the flex position, and Ted Ginn Jr. from the New Orleans Saints. This team is going to be very good. They're very well balanced. Look for them to be a force. Picking up at number 9 was Shoon's super team, now known as the Golden Taint. They're going to be very good at the quarterback position. Tyrod Taylor and Joe Flacco are his quarterbacks. Amir Abdullah and Danny Woodhead are his running backs from the Detroit Lions and Baltimore Ravens, respectively. Zach Ertz is his tight end from Philadelphia. His team will be very good. At the wide receiver position, he's stacked. A.J. Green, Dez Bryant, and Keenan Allen are his wide receivers. He's going to be very, very difficult to beat throughout the course of the season. Team Denver Broncos pick number 10. They went with Tom Brady and Kirk Cousins at the QB position. Jordy Nelson, Emmanuel Sanders, and John Brown in the wide receiver position. Lamar Miller and Belai Powell in the running back position. They should be very good. They have Justin Tucker at the kicker position and the Kansas City defense. They'll be very good throughout the course of the season. D Nice's team, pick number 11, Matt Ryan and Carson Palmer lead the QB position in that one. We have LaShawn McCoy and Jay Ajayi as the running back tandem. They'll be excellent for him. Greg Olsen at the tight end position, Graham Gano the kicker, and the Seattle defense, which will always get you a huge amount of points in a team defense role for fantasy football. Finally, picking in at number 12 was Eds Reed. He's highlighted at the quarterback position by two stud quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers and Cam Newton from the Carolina Panthers. Randall Cobb is on the wide receiver for him. He's also got Ezekiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys in the running back position, who will start week 1. His suspension should kick in week number 2. He'll sit for 6. And Kareem Hunt of the Kansas City Chiefs at the running back position as well. Joined at the tight end position, Travis Kelce is there. Will Lutz, New Orleans Saints kicker, and the Philadelphia D for Eds Reed. And that concludes our rosters for the teams. We've also had some transactions take place in the past week leading up to tonight's first matchup in the NFL. We have the Golden Taint. He added 3 players: Jared Goff, quarterback of the LA Rams; Wendell Smallwood of the Philadelphia Eagles, running back; and Marquise Goodwin, wide receiver of the San Francisco 49ers. He picked those 3 guys up. In addition, he had to drop 3 guys: Charles Clay, Stephen Hoshka, and the Jacksonville defense. Also making moves, Houston Strong added Stephen Hoshka after he was dropped by the Golden Taint. He was picked up from the kicker from Buffalo by Houston Strong. He was dropped for his roster spot with Sebastian Janikowski, the kicker from Oakland. Also, Denver Broncos team made a move. They added the Buffalo defense and dropped Kenny Golladay, wide receiver of the Detroit Lions, to make room for them. So let's take a look now at what our matchups are in the first week of the TST Total Sports Talk Yahoo Fantasy Football League. A lot of great matchups that are here. We're going to start with matchup number 1 between the Denver Broncos and the Golden Taint. Denver Broncos currently before the first game of the season coming up tonight between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. The Denver Broncos are projected to beat the Golden Taint 238.04 to 215.51. Now, of course, these projections are just numbers. They don't mean jack squat when it comes to when the game is played and how many points that these players will put up. Denver Broncos, obviously, Tom Brady is their highest point producer projection-wise, 58.22. Kirk Cousins also right there, 51.91. They look to have contribute for most of the points on the team Denver Broncos. Golden Taint's going to need a big day from his wide receiver core: AJ Green, Des Bryant, Keenan Allen. He also has Demaryius Thomas and Golden Tate in the flex positions. It should be a great matchup under matchup number 1. Matchup number 2 has Johnny Flores' team going up against Brandon's bold team, who had the number 1 pick. Obviously, he hasn't touched his roster yet because he still has Andrew Luck in the starting position. He'll get 0 points because he's already been announced that he won't start week 1, and maybe in week number 2 he'll go. Johnny Flores' team is also putting up a donut right now, as one of their receivers from Miami is currently projected to put up 0 points. The Miami-Tampa Bay game was postponed due to Hurricane Irma, who's projected to touchdown in Miami over the weekend. That game's been postponed till week 11 in the NFL season when both teams are on a bye. That goes November 19th. Johnny Flores' team, though, is projected as of now to finish ahead of Brandon's bold team, 175.06 to 158.24. Matchup number 3 goes between a team that has no name and the Quarter Pounders. This should be a decent matchup. It looks pretty close on the projection. A team that has no name is headlined by Marcus Mariota and Andy Dalton. They should contribute for a lot of points. He also has Julio Jones and Tyreek Hill, which will contribute for a ton of points from his lineup. The Quarter Pounders is going to need a big effort from his running backs. Devontae Freeman and Jordan Howard of Atlanta and Chicago, respectively, are going to need to put up a ton of points for him to stay in this matchup. Matchup number 4 goes between Eds Reed and Houston Strong. Eds Reed's going to have a massive day from his quarterbacks. Just you watch. Aaron Rodgers, putting up projection-wise 52-10, and Cam Newton 43-88 from the QB position. Right now, he has a slight edge projection-wise over Houston Strong at 217-11 to 214-40. Houston Strong is trailing right now, but again, doesn't mean squat. Houston Strong can still come out and put up big numbers, as Ed Reed's team players can put up donuts. It's prone to happen. It's happened before. It'll happen again. Matchup number 5 features D Nice's team against OJ's parole board. Right now, D Nice's team is slightly projected higher at 212-11 to 190-57. That's because OJ's parole board has Mike Evans in the starting position. He's projected to get 0 points after his game was canceled. Matt Ryan and Carson Palmer lead D Nice's team at the quarterback position for the most projected points there. It should be a great matchup, though, nonetheless. And our final matchup of the week features Birmingham Chiefs versus the Bounty Hunters. Bounty Hunters should have a massive day at the quarterback position as well. Drew Brees and Derek Carr, New Orleans Saints and Oakland Raiders should have field days. They're both projected over 45 points apiece. Bounty Hunters is projected right now to finish 219-26 to 204-05 for the Birmingham Chiefs. Should be a great matchup in that one. Look out for Bounty Hunters. They're going to be incredible this year, I feel. Now, should anybody be watching and you want to know what you need to do, there is a game tonight, Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. If you have any of those guys in the starting lineup, once they play tonight, they're locked into that position. You can't move them. You can't edit their position. If they take up a current starter position, sorry, but you're out of luck. That's where they are, and that's where they're staying. However, the rest of your lineup, you can feel free to set before Sunday at 1 o'clock when the Sunday games start going. Some of the top waiver wire ads, if you're looking for a last-minute guy to fill in any of those positions that are affected from the Sunday game that is being canceled between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins, if you have any of those guys in your starting lineup, put them on your bench now. All right, top waiver wire ads. Number 1, Paul Richardson, running back of the Seattle Seahawks. Number 2, Dustin Hopkins, kicker for the Washington Redskins. Number 3, Chris Thompson, running back, Washington Redskins. Number 4, Chris Carson, running back of the Seattle Seahawks. Number 5, Charles Clay, tight end of the Buffalo Bills. Number 6, Evan Ingram, tight end of the New York Giants. Number 7, Ryan Suckup from the Tennessee Titans. He's the kicker over there. Number 8 is Charkandrick West, running back of the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 9 is David Njoku, tight end of the Cleveland Browns. And rounding out the top 10 waiver wire ads of the week, James Conner, running back of the Pittsburgh Steelers. These guys are projected to put up big days, and they are the top waiver wire pickups. If you're in desperate need of a guy that you're looking to put in to at least get some points for you, these are the guys. So you'll want to get in touch with these guys before they're scooped up with others. Now, looking up for week number 1 in the NFL, we're going to preview that right now for you. Week number 1 gets started tonight. Kansas City Chiefs are on the road against the New England Patriots. It's banner raising night in New England. That one goes at 8:30 over on NBC. Hopefully kickoffs shortly around there, because any later than that's going to suck for everybody. Sunday games, Sunday September 10th. The 1 o'clock game gets started in Buffalo between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Tyrod Taylor projected to start. He's been cleared of his concussion. He will start for the Buffalo Bills. Look for them to be good in this one. Philadelphia Eagles are on the road against the Washington Redskins. In Washington, Kirk Cousins and company look to be very, very good. That one goes at 1 p.m. over on Fox. Oakland Raiders are on the road in Tennessee to face Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. 1 o'clock on CBS in that one. Derek Carr and the Raiders look to be massive this year. Of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Miami Dolphins game that was scheduled in Miami at 1 p.m. over on Fox this Sunday is canceled. It'll be made up in Week 11 of the NFL season on November the 19th. Jacksonville Jaguars are in Houston to face J.J. Watt, a returning J.J. Watt, and the Houston Texans at 1 p.m. over on CBS. Arizona Cardinals will face the Detroit Lions in Detroit at Ford Field at 1 p.m. over on Fox. Matt Stafford coming off his record-breaking extension that makes him the highest-paid quarterback in the league. Atlanta Falcons start their season in Chicago against Mike Glennon and the Chicago Bears. That goes at 1 p.m. over on Fox. Atlanta looking to salvage to basically make up for what was an embarrassing meltdown in the Super Bowl last year at the hand of the New England Patriots. Baltimore Ravens are into Cincinnati to face off against the Cincinnati Bengals. Should be a good one there. Andy Dalton and the Bengals look poised to make a run at the division crown in the AFC North They're facing a very good Ravens team. It'll be a good divisional matchup. Anytime these two teams get together, it's a phenomenal game. That one goes, like I say, at 1 p.m. over on CBS. The Pittsburgh Steelers and their high-powered offense, featuring Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell, are all in and ready to go. They're in Cleveland to face off against the lowly Cleveland Browns. They are going to probably be awful this year, I'd imagine. It'll be interesting, but hey, maybe they'll win more than what they won last year, which was nothing. They went 0-16. They were awful. Anyways, Cleveland Browns host the Pittsburgh Steelers in week number 1. That goes at 1 p.m. That's on CBS. That concludes the 1 o'clock games. Indianapolis Colts, no Andrew Luck there. Scott Tolzien has been announced as starter. They're on the road in LA against the LA Rams. That one goes at 4:05 over on CBS. Todd Gurley looks to carry the Rams this year. He's going to be very good, I feel, if he's able to stay healthy. One of the juiciest matchups of week number 1 goes in Lambeau between the visiting Seattle Seahawks and Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Russell Wilson looks to pull out every trick in the book to take down a very powerful Green Bay Packers offense. Anytime these two teams get together, it's always an instant classic. I expect no less. It goes at 4:25 over on Fox. Carolina Panthers start their season on the Bay in San Francisco against the 49ers. It should be a cakewalk for Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers, I believe. Cam Newton wasn't very good last year. He got something to prove this year, in my opinion. They'll be very good. 4:25 over on Fox is when that game goes. The New York Football Giants tee up the Sunday Nighter at 8:30 over on NBC in Dallas against Ezekiel Elliott and the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, Ezekiel Elliott, who will play in week number 1. His suspension was upheld. He will serve the 6-game suspension. When that starts is undetermined at this time, but they're projecting as possibly week number 2 that suspension kicks in. But he will play week 1 because the ruling was not determined in time. So he will suit up for the Dallas Cowboys, 8:30 on NBC in the Sunday Nighter. The Monday night games, there's a doubleheader on September 11th. It produces one of the best, hands down, matchup in week number 1, in my opinion. It goes between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Why is this significant? Because it will mark the first time in a decade that Adrian Peterson is suited up for a team other than Minnesota in Minnesota, the team that he ruled for 10 years. New Orleans Saints. He is a member now of the New Orleans Saints. He is probably going to be on a timeshare with Mark Ingram, the other running back from New Orleans. But I really do forecast Adrian Peterson to have a massive day against his former club. That one goes at 7:10. It's the first game of a doubleheader over on ESPN Monday, September 11th. The second game is the late game at 10:20. That goes between Phillip Rivers and the LA Chargers visiting Denver and the Denver Broncos. Trevor Siemian is at the helm. He will start. Brock Osweiler, who they signed from Cleveland when he was released, saved themselves $15.5 million or so, which worked out pretty well for him, if you ask me. Denver Broncos is the home team for this one. They got a whole arsenal of weapons they look to employ. C.J. Anderson is healthy, so hopefully he can have a good game for him. And that one goes at 10:20 over on ESPN to wrap week number 1 in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, I have spoken. All right? It's the TST Total Sports Talk inaugural Yahoo Fantasy Football League, and I'm very excited about how it's going to play out for the course of the season. This has been episode 1 of many to come. And Andrew Rogers signing off. And till next week, Andrew Rogers, TST Total Sports Talk inaugural Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League.